Coming to the Tainted Tavern, come sit a while for free. We talk about our musings and devices we've been using.
Hello and welcome to the Tainted Tavern, and today I've got a bit of an unusual video for you in which I'm going to talk about pipe restoration, the nuclear method. And I want to stress now that if you're watching this video, what I'm going to tell you happened, and this, I genuinely did this. I am not recommending that anyone else tries this. Now, I was reading on Google the other day, just looking through about restoring pipes, and the way I normally, because I buy a lot of estate pipes, or I have done over the last few years, what I would usually use, let's use this pipe as an example here. What I would usually do is, first thing, I'd give it a light reaming when I get the pipe. I'd have a look at it, see the state of it. I usually then remove the stem and soak it in warm water with a touch of vodka. I usually use a cap full of vodka just to sweeten things up a bit. Obviously I'd run a pipe cleaner through it a few times with pure vodka on it until the pipe cleaner started coming out clean. I'd also then do the salt and alcohol treatment on the bowl, where I'd pour salt into the bowl, rock salt rather than fine grained table salt, and saturate the salt then in vodka, leave it stand overnight so it leaches out all the oils. That's what I usually do. Then I simply polish up the stem and the bowl and so forth. But the other day I was sitting around and I was messing around with a few old pipes, and I had this estate pipe that was really in a bad state. It was a well-bore pipe which was made in France, and it was basically a Peterson clone. It looked like a Peterson. That's how I bought it on mistake. I thought it was a Peterson. But it wasn't anyway. It's based on a Peterson. It's even got its own P-lip system. Now, I then thought, and I mean, there was so much cake on it, you couldn't put your finger in the bowl. And no matter what I did to it, I just couldn't get it right. So what I did, I thought, I don't care if I lose this pipe, so I'm just going to put it in the dishwasher. And before doing that, I googled what would happen if I put my pipe in the dishwasher, and I had loads of warnings not to do that. Apparently dishwashers can reach temperatures of 51 to 60 centigrade, so between 125 and 140 Fahrenheit. I was warned that the stem would probably lose its shape, the vulcanite could melt, whatever, and it's not recommended. But because I didn't mind if I lost this well-bore pipe, I mean, you know, it didn't matter to me, I thought I'd try it. And so I put this pipe in a dishwasher, and I was amazed by what happened. The pipe came out of the dishwasher, and here it is here. It just came out of the dishwasher, it smelled incredibly fresh, and when I reamed it then with all this built-up cake, and when you ream a pipe, it normally comes out, there's bits of black dust, like burnt charcoal or whatever, falling out. It came off like rubber. And I had to go gently because I could see what was happening. The build-up of the cake inside the pipe was simply peeling away rubber. When I went around it once gently with my, I didn't actually use a reamer. I used my trusty old pipe knife here. When I went around it, I was able to pull out a huge clunk of cake. So I did that a couple of times, keeping an eye on the inside of the bowl to ensure that I didn't go down to bare wood, because I didn't want to go down totally to bare wood. Then I repolished the stem, polished up the bowl, and this is actually a good smoker now. Now, I'm going to smoke this on camera now. I'm going to use a bit of my early morning pipe. I've just ordered another tin of this, 50 grams, to add to this jar. There was 150 grams in this jar when I first jarred it. But I've smoked quite a lot of it. I do like early morning. So I'm just going to put a bit of early morning in this pipe to give it a puff and show that the pipe hasn't been ruined. However, I have other pipes here. I've got a lovely Ardcastle pipe, which was from the pre-Dunhill when they merged with Parker. I've managed to date this pipe between 1955 and 1962. So it was when Dunhill owned shares in Ardcastle, but they didn't have the majority shares, and they didn't reduce the Ardcastle pipes to seconds, which is what they became afterwards. So it's a pretty good chunk of briar. It needs a bit of restoration, but I'm not going to put that in the dishwasher because even though I've had good results with this this well bore, I'm not confident enough, and I don't want to lose the art castle. So at the moment, I'm not going to put that in the dishwasher. Though I may, you never know, change my mind. Sometimes one too many whiskies causes me to become reckless, and I may put it in the dishwasher. But I don't think I will. Though I've got to be honest, this well-bought pipe now is a fine smoker. And it's gone through a dishwasher. I had to leave it to dry it out afterwards, for about 48 hours. So I reamed it, cleaned it up, polished it, and then I left it alone for about 48 hours for putting it in the washer. But looking at the briar, I can't see that the dishwasher has done any damage whatsoever. It did dull the sheen a little bit on there, but then this is an old pipe. And as I say, I was quite prepared to lose this pipe, so I wasn't bothered about that. But I'm going to get a flame to this now, and you know, now there's no artificial taste on this at all. And the thing is, dishwashers, you know, the temperatures that they reach are basically to kill bacteria, dissolve grease, and it's done this with this pipe. It smokes really well, and there's no off taste with it at all. So, you know, I think I'll keep this as my gardening pipe. You know, something to take up when I'm doing my mountain walking. I do a lot of hiking. This perfect for that. And it does smoke really well. So what is the moral of this story? Well, I'm certainly not going to recommend anyone else tries this, because it could have gone the other way, and no, I don't think I'd be confident enough to put an expensive pipe into a dishwasher. But with something that is basically, this pipe wasn't fit for purpose, it wasn't smokable. So if it's something that, okay, nothing ventured, nothing gained, then why not? So that's pipe cleaning 101, or pipe restoration 101, the nuclear method. I bet you haven't heard this anywhere else. Anyway, happy smokes. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment. And anyone putting their pipes into the dishwasher, do so at their own risk.